Along the Pacific coast, a silent tragedy is unfolding. It is a story of disappearance. Creatures that once dotted the tide pools in vibrant arrays of orange, purple, and red are simply gone. The sea stars, those beautiful and iconic animals, are vanishing. They are melting away, their bodies twist and contort, their arms crawl away from their own centers, tearing themselves apart. The ocean floor is littered with the remnants of these once majestic animals. This is not a slow, gradual decline, it is a rapid, catastrophic collapse. Where there were once hundreds, now there are only a few, or none at all. So what exactly are sea stars, and why does their disappearance matter so much? They are not fish, despite their common name, starfish. They belong to a group of animals called echinoderms, which also includes sea urchins and sand dollars. Sea stars are more than just beautiful ornaments of the sea. They are what ecologists call a keystone species. Think of the keystone in a stone arch. If you remove it, the entire arch collapses. Ochre sea stars love to eat mussels. They are one of the few animals that can successfully prey on them. Without the sea stars to keep them in check, mussel populations can explode, covering the rocks in a thick, uniform blanket. When the first signs of the disease appeared, scientists were baffled. It began subtly with a small, whitish lesion on a sea star's arm. But these lesions were not healing. Instead, they grew larger and spread, as if being eaten away from the inside out. The sea star's arms would twist into unnatural positions. In behavior that seemed almost suicidal, some sea stars would literally crawl their arms in opposite directions. They would rip away from the central body. The detached arms would continue to crawl away before they too succumbed to decay. The entire animal would seem to melt, its complex structure dissolving into a slimy, amorphous blob of goo. A sea star that looked relatively healthy in the morning could be a pile of decomposing tissue by evening. Faced with an ecological disaster of this magnitude, the scientific community mobilized. The hunt for the cause became a top priority. They tested water samples for contaminants, analyzed tissues, and used advanced genetic sequencing techniques. Early on, a leading candidate emerged, a type of virus called a densovirus. It seemed like a breakthrough. However, other researchers had trouble replicating the findings. The virus might be part of the story, but the hunt continued. A different team decided to look more closely at bacteria on sea star skin. They noticed that Vibrio bacteria populations exploded in sick animals. They isolated Vibrio pectinacida and injected it into healthy sea stars. The results were dramatic and conclusive. The discovery didn't explain everything. Why did this disease suddenly emerge in 2013? The answer lies in rising water temperatures. The outbreak coincided with unusually warm ocean conditions, a phenomenon called the blob, creating perfect conditions for bacterial growth. Warmer water means faster bacterial growth and reproduction. A small temperature increase can cause populations to multiply exponentially. At the same time, warmer temperatures stress sea stars, compromising their immune systems. It's a double whammy. As greenhouse gases continue warming our oceans, conditions favoring disease outbreaks will become more common. The 2013 outbreak may be a preview of what's to come in a warming world. With clearer understanding, scientists focus on solutions. One area involves probiotics, beneficial bacteria that might protect sea stars from harmful Vibrio. Another avenue involves genetics. Scientists study survivors who may have natural resistance, hoping to develop breeding programs. The idea is to breed resistant sea stars in aquariums and reintroduce them to help replenish devastated populations. Meanwhile, monitoring systems track conditions to predict future outbreaks and enable targeted conservation efforts. Ultimately, this is about more than saving sea stars. It's a reminder of life's interconnectedness and human impact on our planet. The vanishing stars are a warning from a sick ocean. The lessons we learn will be vital for securing a healthier future for our oceans and ourselves.